Hi, Jürgen.
Hi.
Just wanted to ask about Sadio Mane, please. He admitted last season rather, that he wasn't at his best. It was one of his worst seasons ever, I think he said. And he even looked for external help to get to the bottom of why he was nowhere near his top form. I'm just wondering, how close now do you think he is back to his best, and how much has a full pre-season helped in him getting back to those levels?
Yeah, he's in a top shape, top moment. I think the goal, his goal, and his impact to his goal, which he scored on Wednesday, was maybe a little bit underrated or underestimated. That would have never been a chance if Sadio gets not rid of like 4 or 5 Atletico players, and we all know how Atletico played, and getting through that stalemate and without going down, and so like keep yourself on your feet, pass the ball to the outside and see immediate opportunity. That sums up pretty much Sadio's shape in a moment, which is really good, and yeah, really, really happy for him, really pleased for him. Didn't see it that critical last year, but if he's not happy, that's fine. Then that he wants to improve is fine. We said that now, if David Moyes can improve after 999 games, then we can do that as well, and that's what we are working on, and he as well. So yeah, really happy about the shape in the moment.
Thanks, Paul. We'll go to Chris Bascom next. Chris?
Hi, you mentioned how strong the league is this year. I don't know whether you can
news
to you? Targets, but sorry?
Is that news to you?
No, but it's just years ago you needed 97 points and you still couldn't win it. You needed 99 and you won it. Do you think in those same times and numbers are needed again, or is it because the league's stronger, it might actually be more points are going to be taken? You can't set your sights that high.
I don't know, but when the league getting stronger, then it's more difficult to get 99 or 97 points. I think that's a kind of logical. I have no idea what's been needed, so we should not think about that yet. But what's for sure and what is the same as always, you have to be nearly perfect to win the league. That's how it is. And but you can see that. I think very positive talks about Chelsea, rightly so. Absolutely great team, super coach, all these kind of things. But they're only 3 points ahead, so it's not that we are now far off or something like that. We played them. Yeah, we know how good they are. The same with City and with all the others. So nothing is decided. Look, we try to find our way to win games, and then you need to be lucky with injuries. That's for all of us the same. It's for all of us the same. And you need to find solutions in difficult moments. Stay on track. Draw when you cannot win. Win when it's possible, and all these kind of things, and don't lose. That's pretty much the idea behind. And so take something off the games, and that's what we did so far. But I have really no idea how many points you need this year. I couldn't care less in a moment. Actually, it will be a lot, and whatever we have in a moment is not enough until then. So yeah, we better win a few more games.
I mean, I suppose I was just a follow-up there. It's just what happened in previous year, that 97-point year, for example, or even 90. That was just abnormal. That was not normal. And what happened last week with a game where you draw a game against a good, that is actually normality, if you like. It's almost like people got to adjust that you can't just win every game every week and go on these runs like you and City did.
Yeah, look, the Brighton game as an example, we always had our problems with Brighton because Brighton is just good. So I think all the mistakes we made on that day would have not been enough to not win the game with the start we had and stuff like this, because it was about against Brighton, it was not enough. Brighton was too good for that. But a lot of other teams, when you're 2-0 down at Anfield, that would have been probably a different reaction, but not for Brighton. Maybe they scored the first goal for us too early, for them in the right moment, all these kind of things. But it's just important that you really respect what the opponent is doing. So, and now we all know when City loses a game, then it's not a game where they are not showing up or whatever. It's a game then where they don't finish their situations off and the other team scores worldies and stuff like this. That's how it is. Crystal Palace, not the first time they lost against them. I think it was Townsend a year or two ago who scored at City, goal from 35 meters or so. So these kind of things happen. Chelsea will have similar problems. We all have the same problems. That's clear. You have to get through all these periods. You have to get through. We have to play the games you play with all you can in that moment, and then carry on, recover, carry on, recover, carry on. And so there's really a specific mindset needed, and that's what we think we have, but it's not given. It's not that you have to work on that, and we have to stay focused, and that's what we are in the moment, and that's what we want to show on Sunday.
Thanks, Chris. Finish this section and Dave Maddock. Then we've got Joe and Rich in for the Sundays, and probably take one or two more, but no more than that, I'm afraid. But Dave, to finish this section.
Yeah, it's kind of on the same theme, but if you remain unbeaten after the West Ham game, that is an all-time club record of games unbeaten in all competitions, which is remarkable when you think about it, given the 100-odd year history of Liverpool. You're currently a joint with the team from the 1980s, the early 80s, which is widely regarded as the greatest of all time for Liverpool. Do you think both your team and you and your coaching staff are now close to, because you're setting these records, you're close to those teams? And do you think maybe it's harder to be bracketed with those teams because of what you just said and what Chris just asked you, that it's actually so much harder to win anything now? Because people always say, oh, you have to win things to be regarded as the great teams. But it's really difficult to do that now. So I just wonder your perspective on that, because you are very close now to the team, say, of the 80s that did win so much.
So I cannot compare these times because I was... I watched football that time, but as a kid, and I have no idea how football was exactly in that time, to be 100% honest. But it was for sure not easy in Shankly and Paisley times to win football games. Whatever it is, there was a specific level for all footballers, for all teams, and one team had to overcome it and overcome that regularly, as Bob's teams did. That makes them all-time greats. No doubt about that. And why should we compare that? No, we don't see ourselves in any kind of comparison with them. We try to do what's possible now. And I don't know what's possible. And we don't look what's possible, and then if we see, it could be difficult, then we stop there. No, if we see it's possible but difficult, then we get then the fun part starts really. Then we want to have it with all we have, and that's exactly how our journey so far worked out. We had to look, where can we go, and if we saw we can go there, then we wanted immediately to make the next step as well, and that's what we are doing now. But in this league, we are now in November. We all know that the decisive part is coming up now, but we said never any different. We said that the first 10 games or so, you have to, all the time actually, you have to create a basis for the rest of the season. And that's what we did so far. It's an absolutely okay basis, not more, not less. If we can break records on that way, we were never keen to do so. That's why it happened from time to time, I think. I think this team set already a few records. I don't know exactly which ones, but which nobody reached in the 100 and odd history of this club. That's the situation. So we are not really focused on records, but if it happens, it's a good sign, because then we are obviously winning football games, and that's what all we are interested in. But we don't go for a record at West Ham. We go for 3 points, which is already difficult enough.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. Thank you, everybody. We go for this.